Hello everybody. It's been a while since I've streamed, so I kind of wanted to play a new game. There's this one that just came out called I'm Making a Monster, and it looked really cool. So I'm going to take a second to get that set up, and we should be good to go here in a minute. Okay, guys, looks like we're ready to get started. I am really excited for this game. Whoa, it's kind of loud though. Let me just turn this down just a little bit. I can't hear myself think. Um, yeah, that should be fine. Okay. I'm gonna go through the content warnings just a little bit, in case this is a harder watch for some people. I want to make sure everyone stays safe. So apparently this game has grief, alcohol consumption, using distractions to run from issues, ain't that real? Self-neglect, discussions of therapy and optional therapy visits, and friend-staged intervention. Interesting. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Offers Janet goes for a walk. They like walks in the park. They don't want anyone to talk to them. Okay. Oh, that's awesome that I can do that. Okay. Oh, that's amazing. And I can change the pronouns for the... Okay. Oh. Okay, well then I'll keep it a she, they. And then I am making a monster. So, my first monster, I should probably base it off of me, right? This is gonna be Tiara. Tiara... Yeah, okay, that honestly it feels like it hits a little too close to home. I might not do it. Um, 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 oh my goodness. I like Sonnet as the last name. That's really cute. Let me see. Marie Sonnet. Oh, Talon. I like that one because it starts with a T, like my name. Or Talon. I kind of like Talon. Oops. Talon. Yeah, I like Talon Sonnet. Oh, that's cute. Talon Sonnet has been shut in her room for a month. They've not eaten a proper meal in more than a week. She has only drunk water under extreme duress. Okay. Today, Talon opens the door to their room of her own volition, an occurrence their friends will be equally excited and nervous about, and stumbles from its dark depths with a dehydrated wobble in her step. Talon Marie is my sister's name, the one. Oh! Wait, that's so cool, actually. I love the name Talon. Oh my goodness, congratulations! Joy's sister is having a girl. Oh, that's so cute. You guys are gonna see just how bad I am at reading, too, through this game. Fumbling for some scrap paper and tearing the lid off the pen, Talon drops onto a stool and begins to sketch. Fervor and ink splatter onto page after page in unsteady strokes. Hours later. After many hours, during which friends come over and find Talon, are relieved to see them out of her room, and then distraught again to find Talon unable to tear themselves from work, Talon holds up a final page of formulas and diagrams. I think I've done it. Yes, she says, it can be done. Talon almost bounces up from the stool, but they lack the energy or coordination. Instead, she settles for lifting the page up, beaming at their work. What can be done? Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, Joy. It is your stepmom. I could have sworn it was your sister. Oh, it's because I was mixing up the... Yeah, I was reading both chats at the same time. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyways, congratulations nonetheless. Talon jumps at the sound, almost falling over in the process. She had not noticed that a friend had crept into their kitchen while she worked. Abella leans out from the doorway, mixing bowl in hand, trying to hide her worry behind a smile. Talon does not try to hide their rising excitement. Oh, Abella, she says, I'm going to make something unlike anything I've ever made. Abella continues stirring, waiting. She's played this game before. Make something beautiful. I'm making, Talon continues, something beautiful. Abella raises an eyebrow. Tell her the truth. I'm making a monster. Abella nods, trying to hide her mounting concern. Continue. Talon Marie is the baby's name. Oh! Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, so I wasn't okay. Wow. I'm so sorry. I got that so mixed up. That's so funny. Okay, so your stepmom is the one that's having the baby girl, and her name is going to be Talon Marie. I know you have reading issues, so I get it. That's crazy. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Abella leaves shortly after that, depositing a salad Talon promised to eat onto their work table. I'll eat some salad. Talon pauses her work to swallow a few bites of salad. They're not sure if she's eaten anything else today. It is hard to pull themselves from the work, but she realizes that they need food or she will lack the strength to complete it. After eating more salad, they examine her plans. Creating a living being is an exhaustingly complex venture, but Talon is nothing if not tenacious. They pursued her lifeless exile with the same resolve they now turn to her work. Nothing will make Talon waver from this task. They are making a monster. But where to start? A monster needs many parts. The nervous system. Talon reasons that it's best to assemble the brain and nervous system first. This will help ensure that it seamlessly interfaces with the rest of the monster's body. Talon considers the best way to build the monster's brain. Interesting. I kind of like plant magic. Like we're making something beautiful. I feel like the most beautiful thing to me is just nature and... yeah. Sorry, this game is still kind of loud. I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit more. Yeah, okay. And I think we're gonna do plant magic. An organic plant brain would allow for versatility and durability. It is also probably the most long-lasting option, capable of regenerating itself. Finding the right plants to use could pose a challenge, though. Oh, if we're gonna do this right, I feel like we've gotta grow the plants. Talon has never grown vines to imitate human organs, but she's played around with growing smaller plants with unusual purposes. And as their teachers used to say, anything is possible with a little, or a shit ton, of magic. It'll take more time than finding suitable plants, but means Talon won't need to compromise on her design. Overall, Talon estimates it should take them 6 months to complete the work. A month of work passes. After a month of work, Abella visits again. She warily looks around the lab Talon has set up. So, how is the, monster coming along? It's going well. Oh, it's going quite well. I'm making excellent progress on the monster's brain. I see, says Abella, fighting to maintain a neutral tone. She takes a breath. It's warm out today. How about we go for a walk? Yeah. Okay. Talon says, standing from their stool. Let me just grab my coat. You don't need a coat. It's June. Talon looks over from the closet she was rustling in. They furrow her brows. June? Mm-hmm. It's probably for the best that Talon is leaving the apartment. Continue. Abella brings Talon to a park they used to frequent before. Well, before. She was right. The weather is gorgeous. A warm breeze ruffles through the tree canopy that frames the worn path the two walk along. Talon and Abella catch up on small things. Max has developed a spell to remove excess earwax. Corey has joined a jazz band. Talon slowly realizes that she misses their friends. Ask to meet again. This was really nice, Abella. Thanks for dragging me outside. Would it be alright if we did something like this again? A huge grin breaks across Abella's face. Of course. I'll see you soon. Talon hits a breakthrough in her work. The plant brain's pattern recognition is progressing far above expectations, as are the vine peripheral nervous system's response times. The advances put them about a month ahead of schedule. Talon is ecstatic. Another month. Talon is in the middle of some complicated calculations when Corey bounds through her front door unannounced. Maybe Talon should start locking it. You coming to the concert? Corey asked. What concert? Talon replies, barely looking up for their work. Oh, come on, Corey groans. I joined a jazz band. We're doing a midsummer performance. Any of this ringing any bells? Be honest. Not in the least. Sorry. Corey sighs loudly. We're performing July 21st. Here's a ticket. A small rectangular sheet is dropped onto Talon's desk. See you there? Yeah, let's go. Definitely. Talon examines the page. They can take some time off to support her friend. Sweet. I'll see you then. On the 21st, Talon arrives at the concert exactly 5 minutes early. Their ticket has an assigned seat, and she's surprised to find that they're in the front row. Abella and Max are already waiting there. They smile when they see Talon approach. Corey was worried he wouldn't show, but I knew you'd make time, Abella confides. Of course she'd show up. There was no uncertainty in my decision. This is important to Corey. I think it was just because you've been a bit absent lately, Max explains. At that, Talon falls silent. Well, it's great to see you here, Max says with a smile. The concert is fun. The music is a bit loud at times. Isn't jazz supposed to be soothing? But Talon appreciates its energy. Corey looks like he's having an amazing time. Talon can't remember when Corey started learning the bass. Was it during... Maybe Talon will ask Abella about it later. After the show, the three friends and Talon go back to Max's to celebrate. Talon is surprised to learn Max moved apartments. When did that happen? Maybe they have been a little overly engrossed in her work. Talon promises himself to make more of an effort to spend time with her friends. The work progresses steadily. With each milestone reached, they feel herself growing closer to their creation. Talon knows how she'll think, what will make her feel. She tries not to hope too much about what she'll understand. A month later, one morning, Talon is distracted by a knock at their door. This is odd because most of her friends don't bother knocking. Tentatively, interest drawn by the mystery, Talon crosses the room and cracks it open. Standing in their threshold is Lakshmi, a friend Talon hasn't seen in more than a year. She smiles at Talon a bit nervously. "Hi," she says. "Do you have a minute?" "Invite her in." "Of course, please come in." Talon steps aside, motioning her forward. "No need. I just stopped by to see if you're free tonight. I'm showing in an art exhibition, and I wanted to ask if you could make it." Her eyes are hopeful. "Sure. That sounds really fun. I'd love to come by and see your work." She smiles largely. "Amazing. Here's the invitation." She hands Talon a small card. She raises an eyebrow. "Very fancy," they tease. Lakshmi smiles, a bit embarrassed. "I'll see you then," she says. The art exhibition is very cool, if not a bit too formal for Talon's taste. Several artists are being featured. Lakshmi's work is a collection of wire statues that move subtly when they're not being watched. It is gorgeously terrifying. Talon spots Abella and Corey, and the three of them walk around, commenting on different pieces and despairing over their prices. "I'm happy to see you outside your lab," Abella says as the night winds to an end. "See you again?" Corey asks. "Agree." "Absolutely. I'll see you soon," Talon says with a smile. She feels both happy and worried to see how much this pleases their friends. Talon spends some time testing the nervous system, watching as inputs are translated to outputs and back, watching different parts light up and process information. She layers together webs connecting nodes, creating meaning interlinked. They know, with as much certainty as she's had about anything, that the monster can awaken, and when she does, she will know all. One day, Talon looks up from the work to see Abella walking in. She looks at the brain that she's almost finished and immediately looks away. She turns her gaze instead to Talon. "It's the last warm day of the year," she says. "Come to the beach with me." "As long as we stop at my favorite cheese shop on the way," Talon says, getting up from her seat. "Deal," Abella replies with a smile. After stopping at the cheese shop to pick up some things to snack on, Talon and Abella walk along the beach. There's a cool breeze coming off the water. After a bit, they find some large flat rocks to sit on. "How are you doing, Talon?" Respond genuinely. "Honestly, not so good. The work has been going well, but no matter how much progress I make, there's no sense of accomplishment. Everything feels so desaturated and far away." Abella nods solemnly. "No one is expecting you to get over it right away. It's just hard to watch you destroy yourself over this." Talon lets out a slow breath. "I'm trying my best." Abella puts a hand on her shoulder. "I know." Joy says, "I've been having so many flare-ups from my nerve damage recently with the weather change, and it's killing me knowing I can't take painkillers." Yeah, that's really sad, actually. Hang on, let me just double check something. For some reason on my stream manager, it doesn't look like my game's on. But I think it is. Yeah, you guys can see the game. It's just my stream manager being weird. Your body's used to every painkiller. That's actually so unfortunate. I do not take painkillers, but I don't have, like, nearly as much pain as, like, that sounds. Like, people that have migraines, that sounds so painful. I'm so fortunate to never have, like, migraines or anything like that. I've never really needed painkillers for anything. Thanks, Joy. I appreciate your support. The next month of work is a bit frantic. Talon hit a snag and works doubly hard to make up for lost time. They're still aiming to be done in 1 month. Talon is working late one night, or is it early one morning, when Max comes barging through her front door. "Hello," he says. "I need help with some work that's got your name on it." Ask him to explain. With great pain, Talon tears her eyes from the diagram they're halfway through drawing. "What is it?" "I'm going to make the best haunted house this world has ever seen," Max declares loudly. "Agree to hear more." "I'm listening, but that doesn't mean I'm agreeing to anything." "Okay, wait, let me back up. So, haunted house. What do all haunted houses need?" Ghosts?" "No, wrong. Haunted houses need skeletons. And do you know who can make skeletons?" Ah, Talon sighs. "That's right, you! You can make skeletons, or at least make them move. Actually, I don't know, can you make or move skeletons?" "I admit to bone control proficiency. I've dabbled in necromancy in the past," Max beams. "See? I knew you'd be perfect for the job." "Ah, fine. Okay. I'll help you with your haunted house skeletons." A huge smile spreads across Max's face. "I promise you won't regret it." After a few weeks of work on the synthetic skeletons, which Talon actually finds somewhat enlightening and decides to bring concepts from into her own monster crafting. The haunted house is ready. Talon and Max hide and watch the customer screen as they realize the skeletons are moving towards them without strings. The dancing skeleton, who offers to waltz, is Talon's favorite. Max likes the one who walks along the ceiling and chatters its teeth. All of Max's coworkers are duly impressed, and Talon is invited to their dinner to celebrate the haunted house's success. It's a really fun evening that feels well earned. After 5 months, Talon has finally completed the monster's brain. A small thrill flows through them. She steps back and examines their work. Yes, it is definitely something beautiful. But her growing smile falters in the face of a startling thought. Would she have liked it? Yes, of course. She would have liked it. She would have found it beautiful, fascinating, breathtaking. She may even have loved it. Talon returns to their notes. She needs to decide which part of the monster to construct next. The skeleton, I think. After completing the brain, a skeleton will give the monster structure. It makes sense to put it together next. Talon ponders what the best material is for the task. I still think plant magic. Okay, I'll do plant magic. Using plant magic to make the monster skeleton could work. A skeleton of living wood could be supple and strong. Yes, it could work quite nicely. Now just to determine how to acquire plants with the properties they'd need. Gather the wood. Talon pulls out her phone and quickly, before their nerves can get the best of her, calls up friends they haven't spoken to in months. Talon asks her friends if they know any places to find good logs or branches, and her friends reply that they know this place or that. After several calls, Talon estimates she can collect all the needed wood and assemble a completed skeleton in 4 months. Corey drops by one November afternoon and deposits a cookie on Talon's desk. "You make this?" Talon asks. Corey nods, and Talon snatches it up and begins untying the loose wrapping. "There's more where that came from." Corey laughs. "Oh?" Talon asks between mouthfuls of cookie. "We're hanging out at Abella's tonight, and I'm bringing 2 boxes worth." Fall into cookie temptation. "Is that an invitation?" Corey smiles. "Do you want the cookies or not?" "Absolutely, I want the cookies." Corey's smile widens a few notches. "I'll see you tonight, then." Talon arrives at Abella's apartment that evening. They hesitate for a moment. She hasn't been here since before. They remind themselves that cookies are waiting on the other side of the door and knocks. Bella opens the door with a smile. I'm so glad you made it, she says. Abella's apartment looks the same as Taylor remembers. As they walk further in, she sees Corey and Max already settled in the living room. The promised cookies are laid out on the coffee table. Taylor spends some time cautiously discussing how things have been. They try not to say too much about the monster, and it's not too hard when she keeps grabbing more cookies. Max eventually suggests starting a movie, and Taylor glances at the time. Taylor settles in to rewatch one of Abella's favorite movies. They feel herself relaxing by fragments as each minute passes. Corey and Max argue over plot holes and continuity errors while Abella hushes them during her favorite scenes. It all feels so warm and familiar, and it stirs an ache in their heart. There's too much missing from this picture for it to feel complete, but maybe this is what it feels like to pour paint over an old canvas and create something new. Taylor is into the second month of her work when they hit a snag. The wooden bones aren't connecting as planned. She'll need to figure out a new strategy for attaching them. This will add a month to their work estimate. Before Taylor realizes it, the year is over, and it's been almost 9 months since. Taylor examines the letter in her hand. It's from Abella. She's inviting them to a New Year's party she's hosting. Behind the open letter, the huge pile of work on her desk looms. They had hoped to finish prototyping a new design for a connecting piece this week. Taylor has been working diligently, keeping long hours and taking little time to rest. She can spare the time for a break this evening. They call up Abella and let her know she'll be able to make it. She sounds very pleased, and it makes Taylor smile. Joy said one night you need to read us a book like this. It feels like you're reading a book to me. Yeah, it does kind of feel like I'm reading this. Is that what y'all would want? You want me to do bedtime stories with Tiara? We can do that. Taylor arrives at Abella's party in fancy clothes that pinch a little. Abella opens the door with a huge grin, and Taylor promptly shoves a bottle of champagne in her face. Thank you for inviting me, they say. Of course, Abella exclaims. Thank you for coming. She takes the champagne and then Taylor's coat, showing her inside. Joy said it's very calming. Loki might fall asleep. I would be so honored if you could fall asleep to the sound of my voice. Do it. What follows is a fun night of reminiscing and declaring next year promises. The only awkward moment is when someone who's friends of a friend of Talon's mentions Delaney. The room falls silent briefly as someone else pulls this friend of a friend away. Talon can very clearly hear them having a terse conversation about not mentioning her in Talon's presence. Talon resolutely ignores this. Soon after, they notice Max and Abella watching her like they might break into a million pieces. Talon also resolutely ignores this. Corey comes over with a fresh glass of champagne, and they all toast to friendship, and everything is fine after that. Or at least that's what Talon tells herself. The room counts down to midnight and erupts in cheers and hugs. Talon sends sparks flying over the champagne flutes, much to the party's enjoyment and Abella's nervousness. She double-checked with Talon that it was safe to drink at least 12 times before letting her guests toast. After midnight, many of the guests begin making their goodbyes and heading home. The party slowly grows quieter and warmer. I think talk to Max, maybe. Talon finds Max in the living room. She's found reruns of a ghost cupcake making show from the previous decade. Say hello. Hello. Oh, hi. Want to join me? She asks. This is my favorite episode. The bakers need to work with the ghosts to make a cupcake tower themed around true love. After 20 tumultuous minutes of batter mixing, dropped trays and bowls, overheated icing, cupcake baking and cooling, icing application, and one of the bakers falling in love with a ghost, the episode's credits roll over the screen. Amazing, right? Max asks. Agree. Yeah, that was fun. I can't believe how long it's been since I last watched these. I'm happy you liked it, Max says with a grin. Then she pauses, her face growing serious. Hey, Talon. I know you've been super busy lately with your project, whatever. but I really like spending time with you. I want to do more things together, or if you don't have time, maybe I can just sit with you while you're working some days. I just want to see you more if that's okay. Agree to make more time. I'm sorry that I've hurt you. I promise I'll make more time to hang out. I really like spending time with you too. And Max grins hugely. I really appreciate it. After wrapping up their conversation with Max, Talon chats with a few more friends. Some silly party games are played, and Talon finds herself laughing more than they have in a long time. A few hours after, Talon makes her goodbyes and heads home. It's quite a bit later than they had expected to be out, but somehow she can't find the energy to be anxious about it. It was nice seeing their friends. The warmth of that feeling follows her home. After a week of struggling with the new flowering plant graft, Talon finally gets part of the skeleton working to their satisfaction. She turns to share the breakthrough with, but the lab is empty. Talon is still alone. On January 14th, Talon realizes it's Abella's birthday tomorrow. They glance over at her phone. It's probably not too late to make plans. Talon opens her phone and calls Max. A picks up on the second ring. Am I dead, or is this not a call from the renowned hermit, Talon Sonnet? Make a sarcastic joke. No, this is your landlord. I'm kicking you out in order to fill your place with rubber ducks. The monarch of humor returns at last, cries Max. Yes, thank you. Jokes aside, I'm calling about Abella's birthday. The very birthday that is in fact tomorrow? Max replies. Yes, that's the one. Well, you're in luck, because I've already made all the plans. We're meeting at Corey's tomorrow at 2. Max proceeds to list a series of events that Talon realizes will take up the entire rest of her afternoon and evening. Sounds great. I'll be there. Amazing. Abella will be so happy you can make it. Talon can hear her smile through the phone. Talon has a really enjoyable afternoon with her friends. They play some party games at Corey's and then go see a movie. There are too many aliens and laser beams in the film for Talon's liking, but Abella loves it. The evening concludes with a visit to Abella's favorite restaurant. Talon finds himself smiling and laughing more than she has in a long time. At the end of the evening, Abella gives Talon a huge hug. Thank you so much for coming. It really means a lot to me. When Talon gets home, the scattered pieces of her monster are waiting for them. Guilt rises, sudden and overwhelming. How could she have been out for so long and just left her like this? They gaze at her part-made form, and as a sinner before her God, promise to do better. And yet, a small part of them starts to wonder if maybe she's already giving enough. There are 2 months left in building the wooden skeleton. Talon feels that they're on a roll. All the theory is actualizing with an ease that's relieving, unexpected, and entirely pleasing. Talon realizes that she's ahead of schedule, and they can reduce her work estimate by a month. Talon is watching up. Some mostly non-caustic chemicals had spilled when their phone starts ringing. She finishes cleaning everything and checks their missed calls. Max has been trying to reach her. Without thinking much of it, Talon calls Max back. Hi, Talon. Glad you called back. What's up, Max? I was wondering if you're free this afternoon. I wanted to chat. Sure. Come by whenever. I'll be home. Great. Talon is pulled out of their work by a knock at the door. She makes their way over and find Max holding a large bag. I brought snacks, Max explains. Faye pushes past Talon and begins moving papers to make room to set up. Those are organized. Talon grabs the papers from Max's hands and begins putting them away more delicately. Sorry, but hey, I brought your favorite. Max pulls out containers of assorted cheeses. Alright, you're forgiven. Hand over the cheese. Max obliges, and the two catch up as they compare cheeses from the selection Max brought. After some time, Talon asks, Did you have something specific you wanted to talk about? Yes, actually. I appreciate all the effort you've been putting into looking after yourself, and I want to make sure you know that. I was really worried for a really long time. It was hard to see you like that. Max smiles, but Talon can see the pain Faye's trying to hide. And it's been so nice seeing you more often. I missed you so much. Thank Max for sharing. Thanks for letting me know that, Max. It means a lot to hear. I just wanted to make sure you knew that I knew how hard it has been for you and how much I appreciate the work you've put in. I'm so happy that you're doing better. But she's not who they once were. I am better, Max, but I don't want to mislead you. I'm not at the place I used to be. I'm not sure I'll ever be like that again. I understand, Max says quietly. I don't expect you to be. I'm happy with the you that you are now, and I'm happy you're letting us in and letting us support you and where you need it. They share a hug, and Talon is definitely not crying at all as they finish the last of the cheese. Finally, Max gets up with a smile. This was so nice. Thanks for having me over. Thank you for all the cheeses. My pleasure. See you again soon? Talon smiles. Definitely. Joy, you don't like cheese? Oh, no hate. I just can't eat it. That's no fair. I'm lactose intolerant, so I probably shouldn't either, but it's okay. Finally, after 4 months of work, the monster's bones are complete. Talon steps back and takes a look at her work so far. The wood skeleton paired with a fine nervous system is breathtaking, but Talon notices flaws here and there. The work isn't good enough. They begin to doubt if what she's making will even come close to what they had envisioned. With the final piece, everything will coalesce or come apart. No matter, Talon isn't one to not finish what she started. All that remains is the monster's skin. I think Metatronics for the skin. The flesh will cover the monster, finally allowing it to exist in its full glory. Now to choose the method by which this shall complete the monster. The best way to apply mechatronics to skin would be to form it with metal and plastic plates. Talon checks her notes and realizes they're going to need a lot of metal for this to work. Talon doesn't love the idea of pulling apart her old projects, but they're confident she can get what they need with enough time and effort. Sometimes sacrifices need to be made in the name of progress. After doing some preliminary research and checking her existing notes, Talon estimates that they can complete the outer layer in 3 months. One day, while in the middle of some very complicated calculations, Talon gets a text from Bella. It reads, "Got him in, it's important." Then Talon's phone starts to ring. "Hi, Bella, what's up?" "Hi, is this an alright time? I wanted to talk to you about you maybe talking to someone. You know, about Delaney." Talon's blood goes cold. "I'm listening," Talon says tentatively. "Thank you," Bella says. "I found someone I think could be really great for you. I'm just asking you to give them a try." One session, Talon concedes. She knows it'll make Bella happy. I love how I'd rather watch your live than call my boyfriend. I just now realized I was supposed to call him. That's so sad. You just give him a call real quick, and then, you can invite him to watch the stream too, and then, you guys can both watch me together. A week later, Talon shows up at the therapist's office. They talk to the therapist about the work. She does not mention Delaney. It goes okay. Talon feels a little better by the end of it, but they're a bit stressed about the time she's losing that could be spent working. At the end of the session, the receptionist asks if they like to book another one. Yeah. Talon books another session for the following week. Talon hits a hitch with their work. Frustrated, they redo her calculations and add a month to their estimated time. On April 2nd, Talon packs a small bag. She includes water, a candy bar, an umbrella, their keys, and her wallet. They take a considering look at her phone. They want to be alone today. Whatever anyone needs can wait, I think. Talon leaves her phone for the desk, throws her bag over her shoulder, and walks out the front door. The walk to the Gateway Cemetery is long, but Talon doesn't mind it. When she gets there, they realize she doesn't know where to go. They've never been there. After a little while of meandering, she finds a groundskeeper who points them in the right direction. Soon after that, she finds the grave. Delaney's grave. Talon sits down in front of the grave. They watch it silently for a while. Finally, she speaks. Hi, Delaney. I really miss you. It's hard being here without you. I really miss you. I told my therapist about you. It kind of helped to talk about you with someone who didn't know you. They didn't judge me or anything. That was nice. They even mentioned some things I can do when missing you hurts too much. I've been trying to do the exercises. They help. When you died, it was like everything that mattered left with you. I couldn't watch any of my favorite movies because all I could remember was watching them with you. And then I would remember you were gone and everything would hurt all over again. Do you know how many times I picked up the phone to call you, only to remember there was no one to answer? You died a year ago, but it still hurts as much as if it happened yesterday. It was so hard without you, and still is now. You were so much more to me than just a friend. It felt like you fit so well into my life. I miss you deeply. I just want you to come back, and I know that can never happen, but that doesn't stop me from wanting it. I am half made again. I am weak and faulty without you. You made me better, and now I'm lost. I miss you. Oh, sorry. I'm mad at you for dying. I know it wasn't your fault, but I can't believe you left me here all alone. It hurts so much, and it feels like when I'm working, it's the only time I don't feel a knife twisting into my chest. I hate you for leaving me, but I love you so much. The work that I'm doing, I'm building a monster. It's for you, you know. I know it won't be you. It probably won't be anything like you. But when you died, it felt like you took a part of me with you. I'm trying to get that piece back. And I know this monster won't be able to do that. But in my heart, I feel like it could. The monster will be beautiful, and it's all for you. I hope you hate it. Talon wipes at the tears and gets up. She rummages in their bag, pulling out the candy bar and leaving it on top of the tombstone. Talon gets home and checks her phone. They have 6 missed calls from Abella and 4 voice messages. She's also sent several texts asking Talon to call her. Talon hesitates for a second before calling Abella. She picks up immediately. Oh my god, are you okay? What's happening? Are you home? I'm sorry for not responding earlier. I'm fine. I'm home. Everything is okay. Where were you? I went to the cemetery today. And how did that go? It was really hard, but it was nice talking to her, even if she couldn't reply. Do you want to talk about it? Talon pauses for a moment. When she speaks, it feels as if they're pulling the words from deep within herself. It's okay. If it's okay, could we talk about Delaney? Of course, Abella says softly. I'll be over in a minute with some tea. Before Taylor can even explain how unnecessary that is, Abella has hung up. She arrives soon afterward. The two sit and chat about Delaney long into the night. It hurts, but is cathartic. By the time they see the sun rising outside her window, Taylor feels very slightly better. The immenseness of their loss feels like it could be surmounted one day. The following night, Talon turns and tosses, trapped in the restless sleep of the living. She dreams that they finished the monster, lay in the final piece, and awakened her eyes. Talon opened her eyes, and it's a copy of a copy of a copy of a face she used to know. A face they still love, distorted, repeated, and fragmented, almost past recognition. Talon gazes at her, trying to take in the details of her form. She stands there watching her in return until finally the monster moves. She opens her mouth to speak, and fear rises, quick and clawing. What would be worse, that the monster really is Delaney, or that she's not? Her glazed gaze digs into Talon's eyes. She says, "You're selfish to have made me. How could you? How dare you? You inspire only hate in my lifeless metal heart." Talon wakes with a start, shivering and panting. They curl into herself and don't sleep that night. The work has advanced well since last month's setback. Looking over the range of skin prototypes, Talon feels good about their progress so far. One sunny spring morning, Talon is making coffee when she notices the tulips in the yard have begun to blossom. They remember that Corey is quite fond of tulips. Talon calls up Corey. He picks up immediately. "Is everything okay?" "Yeah, I just wanted to know if you'd like to go see tulips with me." "Are you serious?" "Yes, I would absolutely die to go see tulips with you. I'll pick you up in 20 minutes. Before Talon has the chance to say anything else, Corey hangs up. "Oh, I appreciate it, Joy, but I think I should be fine." As promised, Corey shows up 20 minutes later. He plays folk rock over the drive to the tulip farm. The flowers are stunning, lined in rows of solid colors. They fill the eye, creating a world of blooms. Corey and Talon take a few photos and pick a couple tulips to take home with them. As they walk back to the car, Corey puts a hand out on Talon's shoulder. "I really appreciate you calling and inviting me out. It was hard to pull myself away from work, but that was truly fun. Thank you for coming here with me." Corey smiles. "I hope I get to see you again." Talon's reached a block and spell she's crafting when a conversation with Bella comes to mind. She's been working on something that needed to be stretched, but not lose its stability. Referencing her descriptions, Talon finishes a test-ready spell formulation. A few days later, the skin patch they're working on is finally behaving the way she needs. A current of excitement hums just low. Talon's skin. They can't wait to try applying the spell to more of the skin tomorrow. Talon's in the middle of working out a spell when her phone rings. They glance at the offending device, wondering how much of a distraction picking up would be. Talon silences her phone and returns to the spell. At long last, after more than 1 year of work, Talon has completed the monster. Talon steps back to take her in. They look upon her creation. Her skeleton is wood, her brain is vine, her flesh is metal plate. Yet she is truly beautiful. She too is an abomination. Without yet knowing, Talon feels a vast and deep love drowning her. They have poured herself into her, and here she lies, waiting. Talon casts the spell. The monster opens her eyes. She looks up at Talon, expressionless. "Can you speak?" they ask. She shakes her head softly, holds out her hand. Talon takes her hand very gently. She pulls her other hand on top of hers. Talon begins to cry. Over the following months, Talon retreats further from the world. They spend all her time with the monster, hoping she'll one day be more than she is. The monster is very kind. Talon needs to keep reminding themselves that it's not the monster's fault. Nothing is her fault. She stays with Talon and is patient and understanding. She's always there for Talon, always trying to help. She's everything she wanted. Talon's friends keep reaching out, trying to make plans, but Talon pulls himself further and further away. She has the monster now, and she's everything they need. How could she leave her? Everything about the monster only makes Talon think of how she's not but a hollow imitation. The monster will never be Delaney, but Talon will never be alone again. And if Talon feels hollow, an emptiness that grows inside them each night, she ignores it. Everything is as it should be. Wow. The game was good. I definitely want to try out a different ending at some point, and kind of some more combinations. I know I haven't been streaming that for that long, but I'm actually getting really sleepy. Corporate work environments tire the soul. So I've got to be up for a meeting tomorrow. But I appreciate you all so much for hanging around, even though it was a short stream. So thank you guys so much. And I hope to do. I honestly, I really hope to stream a little bit more frequently, even if it is just like, an hour, 2 hours, something really little. So yeah, thanks everybody.